Are y'all gonna be quiet?
Hey, this is Norris the Pope Johnson. Actually, this is First Lady Kiki, and the ladies are running this thing. What you gotta say, Miss Tineshia?
I mean, I just watched an hour full of foolishness, so I'm just really happy that, pack some stuff because the last hour was just pew.
We gonna go around the table and let the ladies introduce themselves.
I'm Amber. Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Courtney.
Hi, I'm Lorraine.
I'm Sheree Ray. Well, welcome to Unpack. We just listened to a whole bunch of foolishness. Foolishness.
Yes.
But we're gonna be talking about dating from a woman's point of view. So can everybody walk around the room? Just let everybody know what's your status. Married, single, optional. What we doing?
I'm in a relationship. Yes, I'm in a relationship too. Not married. Not married. Yeah.
I'm married.
I'm married, but I'll sell them to the highest bidder.
So Tanisha's in a relationship. Tineshia has a boyfriend. Wow. I know that this was going to be the Tineshia Needs to Manifest a Husband show, but maybe she manifested one. Maybe. Maybe God was like, Tineshia, here you go. And I was like, thank you, Jesus.
All right, ladies, the men was on before us and they talked about a lot of stuff about women. So if nobody saw the show before this, let's just kind of go over some details of the men were expressing how they felt about women. So, ladies, I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about men?
They all right.
One thing I hate about men is how they generalize. Like, I hate when men say, yeah, because all women this and all women that. How can you say that? You ain't met every woman in the world. So how can you even say that? That's not fair to women.
I think it's a clear sign of how bitter they are, right? Like at this point, men are just bitter. Years and years and years of bad choices. You literally picked the wrong woman to marry. You can't be mad at the rest of us. And that right now they are extremely bitter. You know how hard it is to find a man that's not going through first wife syndrome?
Or first girlfriend syndrome at that point.
Foolishness.
Accountability for your garbage.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're talking about emotion. Have you ever dated a man that knew how to communicate? Just really know how to communicate, knew how to talk to you. Have you ever dated a man?
Initially, no. It's like they got to learn.
They like to be demanding. They are very demanding.
Yes.
And that's even with the husband. They're very demanding.
Okay.
And I
They
feel
want
like,
what they want when they want it.
Yeah. And I feel like that's
like
when they think
kids.
they're communicating. But that's not communicating when you placing demands. That's not communication.
And they act spoiled a lot.
Like babies, like puppies.
They're worse than babies.
Microphone.
We are 4 minutes in. No, sir.
Some men have a tendency to think they're communicating, but I really don't think a lot of them know how to communicate. And when you start asking questions and you start communicating, because we are emotional beings, they have a tendency to kind of shut down. Then the conversation is over. So I'm not sure if you all had that issue happen to you all when you were trying to communicate with a significant other.
They like to skip the subject a lot.
Then there's that.
Yes. Or play the blame game.
That victim.
Yes, try to say it's you.
So I'm not used to being in a successful relationship. I'm not used to being in a relationship at all, right? And I don't like to generalize. So I don't want to assume that most men are not going to be pretty good communicators. I think the guys I've dated in the past definitely weren't, but just I take accountability for me, right? So at the end of the day, I'm always the issue. It doesn't matter what he did. I'm always the issue because I put up with it. I have to decide what I am and I am not willing to accept. So when I date men that are poor communicators, I stop dating them. So we're not going to go back and forth over anything. You're going to talk. I'm going to be quiet. And then I'm going to block your number, right? I'd rather ghost you than let you upset me.
Now I got to ask you ladies, to you all, what makes a man attractive to you? what are you attracted to in a man?
I personally like ambition, because then this sounds. I don't like for you to be all up in my face all the time. I need you to have a hobby, something that you love to do, something that's going to take your time. Because I also have things that I like to do that take up my time. So we don't always need to be up under each other. We don't always need to be together. You doing you're pursuing your passions. I like to see that.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Addition to that, I do agree, because one thing I hate is a hopeless man. If you think you want to sit up in the house and give him my favor, I might cut you out. And another thing I'm really big on, I don't like a man that doesn't pray. I never had a boyfriend that doesn't pray. So I'm big on the spiritual. My boyfriend has to be spiritual. Well, man friend, because I'm almost 30. I can't keep saying boyfriend. My man friend has to
Let me
pray.
tell you how bad it feels when you hit 40.
My knees hurt.
Anybody else?
What I find attractive about a man is how they treat their mother, the relationship with their mom. So, and then you have to look at their relationship, how they talk to their mother. And I always, because I have 2 daughters, and I tell my daughter, you need to find out who's raising these young men out here, because it's nothing wrong with being raised by your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, but you just need to just observe their relationship and how they interact with them. Because if they just talk to them any kind of way, then just think they're gonna talk to you any kind of way.
Absolutely.
Hey, give me the microphone.
Absolutely.
Give me the microphone. Like, y'all
And-
talking shit. Now, let's talk. Nah,
No, nobody is talking. Nobody.
Why
no,
are you
we're
not
spitting
hitting the
truth.
censor button
We're
when he
spitting the
curses?
truth.
Why?
So,
give me the microphone.
Sir, we're censoring you at this moment. You got the last 15.
You first play.
so family.
No. Hey, Trump.
Yes.
But you know what I'm learning in life, and as I know men and I work with men and I meet men, we have a lot of males and not a lot of men. And I'm not trying to say that they're not being trained right, but they don't know how to treat a woman.
Don't think what you have between your legs make you a man.
And most of them do. Oh, Tineshia, you have your guess.
Okay, so I invited 2 more people. Again, I think that there's no way we're going to get to a good point or any type of change if we don't have the conversations with each other, right? So I invited a male. Thank you so much for joining us, Lawrence. And I invited one of my best friends because, you know, when I need advice, that's where I run. So welcome, Queenie, and welcome, Lawrence. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey guys.
Welcome,
Salute.
guys. Thank you for joining us at Unpack. So we're just talking about relationships and men and kind of give us some feedback, Lawrence. We were just talking that we just went around the room talking about men and what makes a man attractive to us. How do you feel about that?
Well, since I'm not a woman, I can't tell you what makes a man attracted to a woman. But what I can say is this: a man that's first on his purpose should be attracted, should be one of the traits that a woman looks for. She shouldn't be involved with a man who doesn't have a mission, because then she can never find submission in his mission. So he needs to have a mission that he's on and where he's going. No woman wants to follow a car that's parked outside. She needs to know that you're going from point A to point B, and can I get to Z at the same time? So it's imperative that men first have a vision. Next thing, he needs to take care of himself. Most guys don't take care of the grooming, clothing, shoes, how they carry themselves. That means a lot to a woman. I tell my sons, I got 2 sons, your shoes speak before you even say a word.
Yes.
So I tell men, I tell my sons, make sure your shoes are clean, sharp, and ready to go. Make sure you have a belt on. What do I say about a belt? Because it tells a woman indirectly, subconscious, that you know how to keep things secure.
Say that.
And so if he has a good belt, so his belt should be matching up with his shoes, and it should be all together, but it should be a belt that's not tattered or broken up. That means you don't know how to keep things secure in your life. Most of all, make sure that he finds his own style and that he's not trying to dress, if he's in his 50s or 40s, he's trying to dress like he's in his 20s, but he dressed age appropriate.
Absolutely.
So that's the internal thing. Go ahead.
Thanks,
Get
Lawrence.
this advice
Thank
on
you
your
so
social
much.
media because they need to hear this.
Yes.
You need to make reels, Instagram reels with this
Yes.
kind of advice.
Queenie, what attracts you to a man?
I would have to say the topics of the conversations, but well, no, before the topics, I'm gonna go with how you look. I'm gonna just gonna say that even if you're working, you got on your work uniform, you working. Everything still should be to some type of togetherness, I guess, if I want to use that word. I don't know, but it got to be some type of togetherness. I can't stand dudes who wear t-shirts with no sleeves. That's a problem for me. I don't like that. I just think that it's a few little petty things I got, but I think that anything that you got on it just have to have some type of togetherness. You cannot be sagging your pants. You cannot be. That's just not happening. That's ridiculous. We too old for that. So that's just what I'm gonna say with that one. But I wanted to say something about this real quick, and I don't know if this is off topic or not. But and I learned this from Lawrence also. A lot of the times, the things that we are complaining about in the other people that we're dating is something that we realize that or have not realized that's an issue within ourselves. So accountability is a really big thing. So while people sitting around here talking about the issues that they having or the things that they like or they don't like, then you got to look at yourself first and see what you got going on before you go around here telling, trying to say, oh, I don't like this, or I'm gonna need this and I'm gonna need that. Are you bringing that?
Or you think that's what you're attracting to yourself?
Yeah, like how you gonna be attracted to all of these things that you don't need, you're not even bringing?
And that's true. That is so true because sometimes we date the same type of man over and over and over again.
I do it.
I think we're
So,
all kind of guilty of that.
so I think
I'm
that's
not
very
sure
important.
how much of the first segment you guys listened to, but there was a good amount of conversation about submission from somebody who didn't even look like he should be talking like that. But we're gonna didn't even like.
First of all, I'm not even to cut you off, but I wasn't even going to address that first section of the show because I was trying to call in and nobody was answering the phone. But he said he talking to women who saying that they don't even hang out with girls. Like, first of all, I'm gonna need for you to have a checklist because I don't even know. I don't even be friends with women who don't say that they hang out with girls.
No.
That's immature, corny, and whack as fuck anyway. Like how y'all gonna hang out just say?
Give you the mic
I
at
don't
8:30.
even understand that.
Y'all gave us the mics at 8:30,
I
7:30.
think that some men must don't think that women can have a good circle, that we can't get along.
That's because of the women that they choose, though. If you out here choosing girls that's still wearing baby fat jeans and quick weaves, then that's on you. But you can't sit out here and get on everybody because of the type of woman that you attracting. You need to change something about yourself. Because what are you talking about? You can't find submissive women.
Well, see, I think a woman can be submissive if she found the right man.
And that's what I'm saying. The men that was talking about they can't find submissive women, they need to do a self check.
A woman
Like
is
Lawrence
only going
just
to choose
said,
for one
Lawrence, you
man.
look like you disagree. Hold on,
Lawrence,
Lawrence,
what you gotta say? Yeah.
Lawrence, I want to hear what you have to say. What do you have to say? We can't hear you. Do you have us on mute,
Lawrence?
We always say, I always hear women say, if we have the right man, we submit. But that's not the case. Women submit every single day. You submit to the job, you submit to your kids, you submit to the mortgage, you submit to getting up in the morning. Submission is not a problem. So it's not predicated on what the man do or not do because it's a heart matter and not so much of an action. So submission is not about the right man because there would never be the right man. It's about first you being the right woman to find a man that you can submit to. So we miss it. The responsibility is not on the man. The responsibility first is on you to submit. Can you do that? And what happens is in the Western culture, we have so tainted the word submission that we made it a taboo. We made it something that's, oh, you shouldn't do that. And I'm not telling women to submit to every man, but I am saying it's easy. It's natural. It's your nature to submit.
we're actually agreeing with you. I'm not sure why you shook your head because we are literally actually agreeing with you. I want to submit and I want to be with the person that I'm going to submit to. It's kind of hard to do that if I'm making a crap load more money than him and I'm paying for everything. It's kind of hard to do that if he's working all the time, ain't paying no bills. It's kind of hard to do that if you're dealing with foolishness. It's hard to do that if he's going through first wife syndrome. You don't want me
Yes.
to complain about your ex-wife, and I don't want to listen. Right? So you and I, or you and us, right? The whole panel, we agree with you. We do want to sit there. That's our natural nature, right? But you guys have to be, I'm sorry, you said what you said. We have to find the person, not you have to be the person. We have to find the person. I agree with you.
No, you have to be the person first that already have submission in you.
We all do have to.
The women have to be the woman that's already in submission, already in the place of submission. See, when he shows up, it's not a matter if he shows up or not. You're already that woman first. So it takes responsibility on you as an individual.
So, Lois, are you saying that we are already that person? We will attract that person to us? Bingo! I got you. Now, I don't know how ladies feel about this because I know I had to kind of walk away. But when you hear a man better,
I'm so mad I can't hear.
How would you all feel about that?
First of all, it's annoying because why do men think it doesn't go both ways? I could find a foreign man faster than they can find a foreign woman. Like, let's not play this game. I don't lie where? Lie where?
Devontae, you've been
Lie where?
You've been doing good.
That's the immature
Lie
mindset
where?
of a man.
Lie where?
That is an
Lie
immature
where?
mindset.
Lie where?
But where is the
Stay in your place.
Come
Lie
down,
where?
let's bring it down
Stay in
to
your
a
place.
nice
Why do
place,
you
guys.
have to
Let's
go
bring it
overseas?
down. Let's be respectful. Let's
So
bring it down.
I feel like this. If you that man, you don't have to go overseas. You can find them here.
Hello?
But it's obvious that you're having issues finding them here.
You married, right?
Even when I wasn't.
She is married.
She's married.
Even when I wasn't.
Yeah, that nigga, he simped on
Here,
you.
Michael.
No, hold on. Let me get it.
I'm raising my hand first. Let me
Let me get that
I'm raising my hand.
What is it that you?
Get the camera. Get the camera. I'm raising my hand though.
I mean, we that's
Hold
that was that man's opinion, but
hold
if he felt like he
Lawrence.
needed to go to Egypt to find his queen, then go to Egypt.
Let me get a camera.
Because he
I'm
gonna
a
look the
sexy
same way
motherfucker.
over in Egypt that he look in the United States.
No, I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that. And it was a lot of numbers. It was a lot of foreign women. I'm not cool with that. I told
he wanted her to pay some of the bills.
time out. I told all y'all women y'all were queens.
The silent part was for me.
No, but I told all y'all women y'all were queens.
You did.
But y'all had to respect that we're kings. The average. I'm not talking about none of y'all. If you feel that you're a queen,
Mm-hmm.
and you project yourself as a queen, but the average woman doesn't project herself as a queen.
True.
I'm not talking about your marriage. I'm talking, Auntie. I'm not talking about your marriage. Beautiful, beautiful. It was about, I take a step back, he take a step back, we come in the middle. But most relationships, you can't say that, because this marriage failed, you guys are coming to me like, this first wife syndrome. No, it's not that. It's because I'm talking to all these guys. Yeah, I took a 30-minute course. I'm the love doctor. Yeah, it's funny. I took a 30-minute course, but I'm telling you that.
So let me ask you this. Hold on, let me ask you this.
First lady, talk to me.
So I know some women that are in relationships and marriages, right? And they have to run their households because sometimes the men don't step up to run the households.
You know what the problem
And
is?
that has nothing to do with being
You know
a
the
queen.
problem is? You talking shit, I'm talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I'm talking shit, but my shit means more than your shit.
Well, why is that?
Because I'm the fucking king.
But,
no, listen to me. I'm
but
the
you're
king.
not acting like the king
No.
in some cases. I'm just saying some cases.
I'm a king.
Absolutely.
Your man, I'm not saying yo, because Norris my man. He's the king. I know him for a long time. But all men are not created equal.
And all women are not created equal.
No. And when I talk about women, I'm not talking about if you say, okay, I'm not that way. Okay, that's cool. But I'm talking about those women are not that way. I've had black, Asian, white, whatever. She's from whatever. But I'm telling you, the average woman falls into that category of being the same. Y'all are not listening to me.
We hear everything you say.
No.
We're listening to you.
No,
the reason why I'm listening to you.
No, you're not, because you're like, oh, mother. I'm
No.
not that way.
No, I had to learn for myself. And this is just in my marriage alone to take, and I don't want to use the word the back seat, but the woman can't be the woman and the man of the household. So it's for black women, a lot of us, it's hard to sit back and allow that man to run the household. And some women, just because they're so independent, when they get into a relationship with a man, there's nothing wrong with being independent, but that independence kind of overpowers and overshadows him, and they start taking over the household like they the man and the woman. And
that's out of order.
And you don't want to do that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Lawrence.
We're listening, Lawrence.
So that scenario that you just presented in context, well, what's happened, a lot of women have been conditioned to be independent because of the advent of feminists in the 1960s and the whole thing of men had to leave. So the women then teach their daughters, you need to do it by yourself. So now when it comes down to the relationship, who has taught you how to live with a man, because you're used to doing it by yourself? So what you do is you tap into your masculinity, but yet be feminine, but you're more masculine. And the man says, you know what? I can't do it. So he does step back. So because he doesn't, some men don't like the confrontation. And he said, I'm not battling you for a position that I'm already naturally should be in. So there needs to be a healing on both sides, the men and the women, particularly the black women, particularly the black man, because everyone's out of position because of social conditioning. A lot of women, I love them, but they do this whole thing. I'm strong, I'm independent. That's not attractive to a man. That's not attractive to a man. I always say, women, if you're strong and independent, then how is it working for you? Second of all, I need you to be strong in your femininity. When a woman is strong in her femininity, it causes men to do backflips up and down in the snow with no clothes on. When she's strong in her femininity, what happens is we have women who are strong in their masculinity, and two positives are not going to attract.
And Lawrence, I totally agree, because women are getting married later on in life. And so, and for those that have had children before they've gotten married, they have to be the mother and the father. Sometimes you're raising your kids, you know what I mean? So sometimes it is kind of hard to step back into that role of just being just the woman and letting the man be the man.
But why can't she do both?
She cannot.
She can't.
But why can't a woman be strong and
strong how?
Like, why can't a woman take care of herself, make her money, pay her bills, do all this, and at the same time also, allow a man to lead?
You don't allow it. This is the thing.
I don't want to allow. Allow is not the right word, but okay, go ahead.
So what happens is, what you just described is what we are all in this room, adults. That's being an adult. So you're being an adult. But what happens is, the question I would have to ask you, who has showed you, who has trained you how to live with a man or maintain a relationship? Who's done that?
Hey, he is annoying.
No one if you're raised by a single mother.
My point exactly.
He went to college.
You know what?
So listen, none of us, I don't believe any of us want to be strong, right? I
No.
don't want to be strong. I have no other choice, but I don't want to be strong. I would like to be able to call somebody and say, hey, I have this issue. And he says, okay, I got it, babe. Don't worry, right? I would like to.
Let me see the mic.
No more mics for you.
Talking
No more
bullshit.
mics for you.
Let me see the mic. Let me see the mic. Let me see the mic. Let me see the mic.
No more mics for you.
Why does it have to be BS when you don't agree with it? We can
No,
agree.
no, 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 no. No, y'all talk for a long
So
time. when
I
we
do
talk.
got a question. I do have a question for the women on the
Let
panel.
me see.
Do you all think a man can be monogamous?
Yes.
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 So the answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on, time out.
Yes, I think
Because
a man can be monogamous.
I'm the only person to keep it real. Y'all, no,
You kept it real last hour. Now we trying to keep it real.
Hold on, y'all stepped on our toes.
Can you think quiet so we can let
No,
Lois
no,
answer?
no,
Lois,
no.
what you
No,
think?
but let me ask you this. I asked the lady, so everybody says yes.
All right,
Some people
now.
say yes, and some people say
Lawrence
no.
got a little fan
Lois,
club.
what you think?
No.
Lawrence got a fan club.
Lois, what you think? You think men can be
Norris,
monogamous?
Norris, your wife is talking, and you like, give her the mic.
No, because there are a lot of
I-
women that feel like a man,
I'm listening
it's
to
not natural for a man to be
Showing more
monogamous.
decorum than y'all showed us.
We are.
But can we please ask?
Asking a question.
Norris,
Y'all was stepping over top of our
hold on. Norris, keep asking for the mic. Okay. We are showing more decorum. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Congratulations. We're showing more decorum because we're also like, yes, dear, whatever, dear. You got it, dear. It's your world, dear. Now, Lawrence.
What?
Lawrence, are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
I'm
Lawrence,
listening.
Lawrence, you're speaking truth. And what these women don't realize is that they need to. I may be honest with you. You need to be quiet.
You talking to us
No,
like
wow.
No. I'm not talking to you like you're short. Yeah, he's 6'5". What he said. That's his stated height. But I'm telling you that every time I've came to a woman and tried to express my emotions, they thought I was weak. Okay.
That's the women you
No.
with.
That's no.
Let's keep it real. That's the women you dealt with.
You're talking. No,
Okay,
no,
look.
no. But I speak as the gospel. But okay, whatever.
Oh, you gotta stop.
We gotta
No.
move on. We
See,
gotta move
no,
on. We
no,
gotta
no.
move on.
See
We're gonna
what
let
you-
you express
you
your emotions
gotta
off
See
air.
what you saying?
No, honey, let's we gonna get
Let me
back.
let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this to what he.
We
I got a
always
question
feel
for the ladies.
because they always talk about
When
weird
it comes to
bullshit.
dating, will you date outside of your race? And if not, why not?
Yes. I don't mind dating outside my race.
My answer to that is yes. I'm married to a white man.
Smelling like you just
Okay,
won a lottery.
okay.
You married a white man?
Would you date outside your race?
Like you won the lottery.
Yeah. So would everybody date outside their race, or would you want to just date a black man?
No, I date outside my race. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
My boyfriend is mixed. I definitely date
My
outside my race.
preference is a black man.
And why is that? Why is your preference a black man?
What did he say?
Why my preference is a black man? Because I love my black men.
Okay.
And and I feel like this, I always say black men has two strikes against them when they're born. They are male and they are black. The world is going to try to tear them down enough. So I'm going to stand by my black man.
All right, so same man.
And I'm going to date a black man. Yeah.
I ain't mad at you at all. So, question: what was the worst date you have ever been on? The worst date.
Oh my gosh.
I know you got many.
Oh my gosh.
Your worst date.
So, my worst date was I was with you, my best friend, in Bay Street, running away from this one guy and pretend like I was with this other guy just to get away from another one. Long story short, we exchanged telephone numbers. He wasn't a bad looking guy. He asked to go to dinner. So I said, sure. Came to my house. OMG, he had on some tuxedo pants on with a vest and no shirt. He had a bare chest. And
So it was a
vest
Bama.
on. Oh my God.
Just say he was a
That was an
Bama.
understatement. I closed my door and thought I was being punked. And I called my mother and I said, please, I know I am being punked. I thought somebody was playing a trick on me. And we almost wasn't best friends that day because I thought you was in on it.
I think we've all had a bad date here or there. All had a bad date.
Hell no.
I can't say I had a bad date. I've been with my husband since I was 18 years old, so he's it.
So I got a question with the ladies. Yes, I have. My very first date with you. I went on a date to a comedy club. My husband ordered the 10 wings. I only had 2. Let's just say after that date, I had to leave and go to McDonald's. I was still hungry. And that was almost my last date with him. Yeah. Yeah.
Best friend. You did my best friend like that.
Yes.
I am. Good job, Nora.
I am still here.
Time out.
I don't know why, but I am still here.
You know why.
You got some.
So I don't know if we got the time. I went out with some guy from Chicago. It's important that I tell y'all he's from Chicago, right? We went on a couple of dates and it was okay. It wasn't like a big deal or whatever. But then we decided to drive to New York City overnight. I needed to do some stuff in New York City. And he was like, okay, I will drive you. On the way, we stopped in Baltimore City at a house I had listed or something. And it was these dudes walking down the street looking at me. And he was like, why y'all looking at my yeah, she bad. I thought we was going to get murdered, okay? The whole way to New York, it was foolishness after foolishness after foolishness. He was like, my grandmother lived on 63rd. And I was like, didn't King Von say stay on 63rd? The whole way, it was some foolishness. We get there. And somehow, every time we did anything, he was like, can you pay for this? And I'll pay you back.
Oh.
I paid for dinner. I paid for breakfast the next morning. The date was a whole mess. In the middle of the date, he left and he went to Macy's or something. And he went to Macy's or something, and I was calling him like, "Hey, we gotta check out the hotel or whatever." And he was on the phone with he was talking to somebody. He was like, "Man, my keep calling. I can't buy this right now."
Wow.
Oh my God. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. The restaurant we go to for lunch, he once again says, "Tineshia, can you take this?" I got it. Just go. And now I'm mad, right? I'm like, just go get the car so we can go. This fool decides that he's going to go over to the parking garage and tell him he lost the ticket so that he doesn't have to pay. He's going to finesse his way out of the parking garage. He tells me, sit right here. I'll be back. I'm not sitting nowhere. I paid for this dinner and I'm going to go sit outside and I'm going to wait for you to come with the car. He came back because he couldn't finesse the people or whatever. And I guess he left the ticket on the table and it was clean when he came back. Do y'all know he cussed me out because I did not sit at that table? Like I said earlier, I am so quiet. I will let you cut up and cut up and cut up. And I'm never going to say, I don't like this, right? I'm going to let you do your thing. But in that moment, I was like, look, bitch, come on. I'm going to pay the $50. Take me the fuck back to DC. The whole ride. What is it? 4 hours to New York? We are arguing the whole ride back. He get a call from a girl. He talking to her and shit. Yeah, what you doing this weekend? I said, bitch, are you crazy? He said, you don't want me, right? You don't want me, right? You want me or not? You want me or not?
Wow.
You don't want me? Why you care about?
So let's just say he didn't get another day.
We get to Maryland. He said, Tineshia, you really not going out with me again? Bitch, no.
Definitely not.
Bitch,
Wow.
Oh my God.
What does the Pope have to say?
What you have to say, Pope? You had a bad day.
Excuse me, Batman. Did you actually have the keys to the property? I just want to know. Inside joke.
The property in Baltimore.
Did you have the keys this time?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Just give me the mic.
Wait, cut your ass.
Wait a minute. He wasn't cussing at me. He was cussing at people up down the street. He was like, yeah, my bitch bad. I was like, we are going to die. A mess.
Oh, yeah, the date would have ended right there.
A mess. Really, Michael?
I would have been like, did you kiss your mother with that nasty?
Wow.
You probably did.
I know Lawrence ain't gonna agree with this, but you know how people go to build a bear, If you could build the man that you want, what characteristics and traits would he have?
You know, I really can't even complain right now because the only thing I have to say about my boyfriend is working on consistency with certain things. So I think consistency is so important. Like y'all were mentioning earlier, I have to be accountable for certain things because we've known each other for years. I think we've known each other since I was maybe 21 and I'm 29 now. So I have to be accountable for things I, wasn't requiring him to be consistent with. So one thing I will say, if I could build it to a man, is consistency with certain things.
How about you?
I think it's just like what I said before. I like a man with ambition. I like someone who has a goal that they're pursuing, and someone who loves God, because at the end of the day, my faith is what I stand on, what I fall back on. When I feel like I'm going crazy, I know where I can go, kind of thing. And if we can't have those kind of conversations, it'll never work. So,
Queen, how about you? Because we're literally the only people here, only women here that aren't married. So build me a man, hon. What do you, if you're building him, what do you need him to have?
Oh, I'm gonna say considerate, family and goal oriented. Definitely he has to be masculine because I can't deal with an emotionally unstable man.
Lawrence, what did we leave out? I'm sure you have some ideas of what we should be looking for. Look at your face. What should we be looking for, Lawrence?
Good sex.
Yeah, I know one said that. Interesting. Y'all all want bad sex, I see. So I think the first thing before you talk
I
about
thought that went without saying, but
no, it does not. No.
If you ain't me right now, I'm somebody else.
No, it don't go without saying. So I will say one thing. I would say it doesn't start in the building of the man. It starts with building you as a woman. What are you as a woman that you can attract a man that you don't even have to build? So it starts in you. What components, what characteristics, how are you as a woman on the inside that you can say, hey, you know what? I can attract this type of man because I am that. So it leaves out the whole thing about building him at all. It will be, I am that woman, and this is what type of woman that I attract.
Point taken.
I like
So what if you attract, so this is my question. What if you attract that type of man, but he's also being attracted by a whole bunch, because like it's not a lot of good candidates out here, should I say. So you gonna be sharing, or you just think everybody just gonna be able just to have this man that because they this type of woman, they just gonna, if you out here you giving up this vibe, then you just gonna get this man that's gonna be happily ever after.
Nope. That's not gonna happen. This is the hardest thing that I did a couple weeks ago. I did a whole week on competition. A lot of women don't realize, they do and some don't, that there's competition. There is another woman who will go behind your back and take your man.
Absolutely.
So if you don't realize that there's competition, you have to be 10 toes down and with your heels on to say, ain't nobody gonna outdo what I do because I am who I am. But a lot of times as someone, I think somebody mentioned, you become lackadaisical and I got him, it's okay. He ain't going nowhere anyway. No, sister. You're gonna have to put in some work too. And I think a lot of times women don't think they have to put in the work because they got the box. If you know what a box means.
Yes.
We can take the box off the table. What else do you got?
Well, what else you bring it to the table, huh?
Talk.
Right.
Talk your talk.
But I know a lot of solid women. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of good, solid, amazing women
Mm-hmm.
that hold things down regardless.
We're not looking for
So
you
in
to hold it
saying
down.
that, all I'm saying is even if you doing all of this and
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I want to know what makes a good, solid woman.
Oh, yeah, I got the mic. I was going to ask a question though, and then I'm gonna pass the mic to nephew because he got a question. My question for the married lady, since we skipped over them, you already built your man, but why did you marry your man?
Oh, I didn't build my man. I didn't
God
build
brought
him.
my man to me.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you marry
Look at me.
God brought my man to me.
Oh, that's what
How
I'm
much?
talking about.
How much more do I need to say other than that? He brought my man to me.
First lady.
He came looking for me. I didn't go looking for him.
First lady.
So you're gonna be honest.
No, let the question be.
Let the nephew talk.
So if you're gonna be honest, I dated the wrong men all my life.
You wanted to talk
Um,
about you, y'all.
Dated all men all my life. So what I did was I took a break. I took a break after my last long-term relationship from dating. I got me together and had to figure out what my self-worth was and what I wanted. And I took a long 2-year break before I started dating again, which was Norris. But the thing was, I did the same thing. I prayed. I asked God to bring me the man that he has for me because I was choosing wrong. And so when Norris asked me out, I was like, you sure about this, God? Because this was my boy. This was my homeboy. And so I had to trust what God was bringing my way. So I prayed for a good man because
Can I say something? That's a little when we say that God did this and God did that, it's a little disingenuous because we're not taking the full responsibility that you did do something in the process along with God. So if we were to separate God out of the equation, what did you do personally to actually say to get this man and to actually go to either marriage or dating? Because sometimes we put it on God and God's like, okay, I did my part, but what did you do?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But like I said, I still had to do the work, but I knew what I needed to pray for. I knew I needed to get out of my own way because again, I was just choosing the wrong men. I liked what I liked. I liked the tall, the flashy, that type of thing. And I had to say, okay, if I want to be successful in a good, healthy relationship, I have to stop choosing wrong and I have to get out of my own way. But again, yes, I had to do the work.
One thing I can say that I had to do that I realized, first of all, when I was 21, I didn't really know a lot about like men and dating because like growing up, my mom kept me busy. I was always either in an activity in school or in church. So it wasn't all that for me with men. So when I've met my man friend that I have now, at 21, he was what y'all call like that nigga. Like he had females everywhere. So when he and I started dating, he could take one look at me and just think he was going to just treat me any kind of way. But one thing about me, my father taught me well. So it's like, I don't even know why he thought he was going to treat me crazy. And he had another thing coming. If he thought he was going to talk to me any kind of way, I'm not lying, y'all. It was a February cold, snowy day. He said one disrespectful thing to me. I don't know if y'all familiar with DC. My mother lives near Catholic University. We were on Vermont Avenue. I got my back ASS out the car and walked home because when nobody answered the phone because he was so disrespectful. So through the years, we were like on again, off again. But one thing I learned that I had to do with him to kind of, I don't know how, it's so crazy, but it draws him to me like it never has before. I had to kind of set standards, let you know what I'm going to tolerate and what I'm not. Because I'm not hard to deal with. I'm very quiet. I stay to myself. I don't ask for much. I know how to be my personal placeholder. So what you're not going to do is come into my space and disrespect it. So one thing I did have to do with him is set standards. And now it's just like he's a whole different man than 21. I'm telling you, at 21, I would never think this would be us here now. So those standards were very important.
Devontae, you got a question?
Oh, yeah. For Queenie, I was just going to say, what makes you solid? Because, I hear a lot of people claim that they're solid. Good question. As a female, though, because I remember you said, it's hard to find a solid female, but what actually makes you solid?
I think the qualifications that makes you solid is what you require, what your requirements are for the person that you want to date. If you feel like that's what you need, then that's what you should be able to give. And if you given that, then you solid.
When you describe yourself, describe yourself.
Now, why should that matter? Now, why should that matter?
That matters.
Queenie, don't describe
To
her.
who?
Are you asking her
Don't
to
describe
describe herself body-wise or what she has on the inside? There's a difference.
Describe everything because men are visual.
And women are visual too, honey.
No. Women are like, what do you got? What do you work at? Men are men are more visual. They don't.
Take that red cup.
No. I'm telling you the real. Men are visual. Men look at things and like, okay, it's red. Okay, it's blue. Men are visual. Describe yourself. What about you says okay?
We're not doing that.
No. I'm not.
Queenie, don't describe
She
yourself.
ain't gotta give her side.
You ain't hear me say nothing.
But say what about you says okay? This dude want to holler at me. Like what? Describe yourself. What do you do? What do you do?
What do you mean? What do I do if somebody want to holler at me?
No.
Either I talk to them or I don't. What are you at? What is the question?
I don't care about you. I'm keeping it real. No. Norris, you asked for the mic.
She's a queen. That's her qualifications.
She's definitely a queen.
She's a queen.
Hold on.
She's a queen.
Hold on. No, Norris, sit down.
Yeah, we about to move on to the next.
See, that's what happens. That's what happens.
A woman shouldn't have to describe herself.
That's what happens. You said let's move on to the next.
Yes.
And I'm asking you, I'm asking Queenie, like describe herself. Does she have kids? Like, is she single? Is she married? She says she's single, but okay, do you have a good job? I'm asking questions like what makes you desirable for a man?
Do men choose women based on this?
No, get the fuck out of here, Norris. Because I'm asking you, what makes you desirable for me? Like if I say I want to no. I'm asking you, what makes you okay? We're on a dating app. I'm saying, okay, I'm looking at you. Your name is Queenie. What makes me say no, Tineshia? What makes me say I want to holler at Queenie?
He don't know no better.
No, I know a lot better.
And Mike need a hug, y'all. Mike need a hug. A woman should never have to describe herself. She's a queen.
No, look, I have to concur that she would need to describe herself, but what she need to describe is this. She needs to not describe her job. She needs to describe what she does. She needs. That's not really the first thing a man look at. He's completely right. Men are activated by, or we are turned on by what we see. A woman is turned on by what she feels. So in the case of, say, Queenie, I know who she is. The first thing you're going to look is the visual. How does she carry herself? What is her character? How does she look? That's the first thing a man is going to look at. Now the next thing is, I think the underlying question was what makes her become a stable, or that she got her stuff together. That's another question that comes in when you begin to vet a woman to see if she fits in what you're doing. There's always steps to this.
It's levels to it.
Yeah.
So me describing. So let me ask a question. Me describing myself really is no purpose because you need to ask. So are you saying? Let me ask the question. Are you saying that he should be asking particular questions that would help him to determine if I qualify for him to be attracted to? So if that's the case, then it is nothing for me to say. You need to be more specific about what you want.
No, he should ask questions. Yes, he want to know how you look because he can't see you on the picture. But he should, if it's in that context, he said a dating app, he should be asking questions to see, hey, does this woman fits with what I like, and do I fit where she likes?
True.
Right. Okay.
There has to be. If you don't ask that, we're going around the same merry-go-round that everybody else is going around on today and then off tomorrow. There has to be. A man needs to ask her questions a lot of times, and I'm glad you said it. Most men don't have the goal to ask a woman those questions because they're only thinking about is how can I get into her pants?
Okay, so we don't have much time left, and I want to make sure we talk about how I went viral this week. I said I was going to make sure we talked about how I went viral this week. So earlier this week, some guy inboxed me his junk. This guy has inboxed me like a couple times before, but it was like years ago, and all he did was wave the other 2 times, right? We've never had a conversation in the inbox. His name was familiar to me. He must have at least talked to me on my wall a couple of times. He's never ever been disrespectful. I don't remember anything like until that day. I couldn't have thought of anything negative about the guy, right? So he inboxes me. I see his name. I only open it because I'm familiar with the name, and it's his Peter Weeder. It's ashy, it's limp, it's his Peter Weeder. So I take this picture. I go to his page. I find his female relatives. I politely inbox each one of them. Hey, this looks like this your brother. Can you please tell him this is disgusting?
This dick!
The penis picture. Like, your brother didn't do this to me. And then I posted it on Facebook. And I kind of posted it on Facebook because I keep seeing the people are bothering me. Men are calling my phone, playing on my phone. Men are texting me saying really nasty stuff. A couple months ago, some guy called me. I answered the phone. Hi, on speaker. Hi, this is Tineshia. How can I help you? This motherfucker said,
This dick!
You can help me by squatting over my face, spreading your big cheeks, and farting in my mouth. Men are constantly calling me and saying nasty, disrespectful, trifling ass stuff. I blocked some dude 8 times in the last year. I blocked some dude 8 times in the last year. 8 times. Okay? I'm tired.
Come back, Lauren.
I'm not making this up. People are bothering me.
Hey, he left.
It's been shared like 800 times. It's like 800 comments on this shit.
Come back,
A couple
Lauren.
of simple bitches that's mad at me. I did too much. Bitch, if you want a penis in your inbox, then say that. Because I got a couple, right? I have a couple. So, Lawrence, did you have, I know I inboxed you, I text you the link. Did you have a chance to look at it? Did you?
What?
Come back over text him the penis.
What?
I did not text him the penis. I texted him the link to the post.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
I did not text Lawrence the penis. I wouldn't have done that.
I didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
But anytime a dude has to do that, his game ain't tight at all. So you don't lead with you don't 2 things they say in the street. You put your for a second turn, you put your dick in your pocket and you lead with your game. You never do that. Because this is what happens, especially in the social media area. I hate that he did that to you, but I'm here to tell you it don't happen to just you. It happened to us. Well, it happened to me as a man. I get pics from women all the time.
Do you want me to expose them for you?
No, I don't want to. You don't need to do that.
I will.
All right, guys, we got to get ready to wrap this thing up. We got to get ready to wrap this thing up.
Peanut gallery.
I just want to go around the room and thank you, Queens, and Lawrence as well for taking this time. Is there any final questions that you want the men to know? Just anything you want the men to know about women.
The biggest thing that we can do, as one thing we can learn about from women, if you sit back and watch and don't say nothing, they'll tell you their whole story.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got. I'm not talking about be a counselor either. Well, you went through that and this happened and this happened. No. If you sit back strategically and listen, she'll tell you everything to do so that you can make the right move with her. Many times guys talk themselves out of what they could have had that night.
All right.
Ooh, say that.
Lawrence, how do we find you? Really quickly, how do we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Lawrence D. Adams. You can find me on YouTube, Lawrence D. Adams. I have a show that I do Monday through Friday. You can find me on Instagram, Lawrence D. Adams, and you can find me on fan base, Lawrence D. Adams.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to wrap this thing up.